Greetings, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video. I'm Lewis with the cat ears. Call me Cuis, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Nathan and Rob.
Did you just say Kuis?
Add your greetings, motherfuckers.
Lu-
Don't question me.
Lewis is wearing his "I do anal on the first date"
Cat
headphones.
ear headphones. Cat Lewis, Cuis.
Not Kuis.
So, currently we are experiencing inclement weather on this side of the world, and we have like a foot of snow.
Yeah,
Hence the medium format change. We're no longer in person. I guess the medium that you're watching it has stayed the same, but the medium in which we are recording it has changed. And so, to the three viewers who actually watch us, I apologize for any inconvenience. But if you thug it out with us, you might be able to access the video for free on my OnlyFans. And I might be wearing these.
Lewis, you have an OnlyFans?
Lewis definitely had an OnlyFans.
I think you
I
made
definitely
stuff
watch
for
videos
it.
on them. Oh, fuck!
And the
I didn't know it was
split
going
is
to go
going
on
on
like
his
that.
OnlyFans.
It looked like lotion.
No, this is coconut cream.
Oh,
What do you mean, Nate? That
it's
was
all lotion.
the jizz going down his arm after he's done with the handy.
It definitely was. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to come out like that. Well, today we're going to be talking about Zelda.
She shakes it.
So, so Zelda is one of Nintendo's mainstream titles and has been with Nintendo since the NES. The first one releasing on the NES. Second one being followed up with it, Zelda 2, considered one of the worst Zelda games to have been released. And every generation of Nintendo console has seen a Zelda game. The most successful Zelda game up until recently was the Ocarina of Time. Came out for the Nintendo 64, re-released on the GameCube and on the 3DS as physical copies. And hopefully it's going to be re-released here soon on the Switch, either due to Nintendo Switch Online expansion or Zelda's 40th anniversary, which is coming up here soon. I think that we're actually in it already. Is Zelda's 40th Annie?
God, I hope they don't
2026.
release it again.
Yeah, no, that's actually one of their plans. Maybe not exactly Ocarina of Time, but there are rumors, and Nintendo has dropped some teasers that we will be getting some remakes and some ports. We've gotten Ocarina of Times enough times. It would be nice to see like Twilight Princess. It would, I don't think we've gotten a legit remake of that or a port of that since it, other than the Wii.
Yeah, Twilight Princess re-release would be nice, considering it came out at the end of the GameCube, then got re-released on the Wii, so it was kind of one of those Breath of the Wild situations where it technically released on the Wii U, but everyone played it on the Switch. Twilight
Yeah,
Princess was the exact same. Everyone played it on the Wii.
exactly.
So it would be nice to
And look,
actually play it
actually,
on a controller.
That
you
was
know
the
what's
only
crazy?
actual Zelda game I played.
Twilight Princess, yeah. You know what's crazy though? The game that followed it afterwards, Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword got a port to the Switch, and it came out after, before Twilight did.
I mean, makes sense. Skyward Sword was like new enough, because did that come out for the Wii or the Wii U?
It came out for the Wii.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. The Skyward Sword got a port to the Switch or a remake, a remaster for the Switch before Twilight Princess did, and I'm about. I think that it might have done worse commercially, right? Skyward
Does
Sword
specific game
versus
mechanics
Twilight.
like factor into that at all, or like was there something that like maybe Skyward Sword was able
Yeah,
to convert
Skyward. Yeah, no,
easier
Twilight
over onto
Princess.
like a controller instead of the Wii
I think
thing?
that the Skyward Sword's controls were kind of like clunky.
They
It
were built
wasn't
around being for the Wii,
Wii.
whereas
Yeah, it
Okay.
wasn't.
Twilight
Go
Princess
ahead.
was a GameCube game, which was then adapted for the Wii, like Call of Duty was.
Hmm.
So then Skyward Sword was built for the Wii, so that was built completely with motion controls in mind. And whilst no one uses the Switch in that way, the Switch still has motion controls.
Yeah. And
That's true.
another thing is that yeah, I was correct. The Twilight Princess did significantly outsell Skyward Sword.
Oh yeah,
The Twilight Princess sold roughly between 8.85 million copies to 10 million copies, and the Skyward Sword sold 3.67 million copies on the Wii.
if you were
Horrible.
to make like a top
Absolutely.
three list of Zelda games, it would probably be like Ocarina, Breath of the Wild, then Twilight Princess. Everyone
Yeah,
who's
and
played Twilight Princess is like, yeah, it's one of the best.
so I actually did make a top three, and you're kind of spot on. Yeah, and then I did the worst ones, and the worst ones just so happened to be Zelda 3 and some of the spin-off games, but and
Zelda
Skyward Sword.
3, don't you mean Zelda 2?
Zelda 2, yeah, I mean
And
Zelda 2,
and
yeah. I was
technically,
looking at Zelda.
I think the worst Zelda game of all time was the Zelda game for the Philips. I believe it was called like the CDI or something. So you guys have seen it where it's like, excuse me. It because it was Nintendo.
Zelda CDI, yeah.
It was originally going to be Nintendo and PlayStation, and they went, no, we'll do Philips CDI instead. And so they made a Zelda game for that. And it is so fucking bad. Like, I think
Is this
it's real,
is
Lewis.
this like a visual novel?
Kind of, I guess. Like,
Because I'm
it has
seeing it, and this is like
cutscenes.
fuck. Just the shit is horrible. I mean, like, share.
Oh, man.
Do you see this?
I gotta watch your stream. Yeah.
Do you see this bullshit?
Taxes was chasing
Ad.
upwards. Now taxes.
Fucking ad, bro.
I
What
just
the
had to pay
fuck,
TurboTax
man?
like $160 to do my taxes.
Now this is
Just for you to get
taxes.
less than what they told you were gonna get.
Not the double ad.
Welcome to. Yep. Oh, it's dark
So
in
it
here.
seems
It's
like-
on an
Bro,
electric.
look
Get
at
back here later.
Alibaba here.
Yeah, it seems like it's Zelda 2 and the fact that it's like a side scroller.
Yeah, side scrolling, yeah, and which
I mean,
made it so
never
fucking
saw that
horrible.
old man
Yeah.
ghost sprite before, so
But there were like
a
actual
lot of this is just new
cutscenes,
to me.
and it's.
Even when you see
Yeah.
puzzles, to me it's like, wow, this is like
And
a new
so-
discovery.
I think if you just Google
Yeah, this game,
Zelda
it's more
CDI
known for
excuse me,
The
it will bring up
cutscenes
that
than, like, the
iconic
actual content of the
cutscene.
game.
You please jump across that little old chasm and cut my daddy's chains?
Cut my daddy's chains.
See that?
You know, I'll give this.
Oh,
game
and this exact, bro. Shit, that bitch built like she
thought you
would
would
say
be
that.
referring
Oh
to-
god, it's horrible. Enough of that. So yeah, I try. I didn't. I'm gonna stop my stream. I didn't include. I didn't want to include spin-off games just because most spin-off games were just gonna get overall less sales anyways. Obviously, there are some that are really good, like the Four Swords, the Minish Caps, whatnot, blah blah blah. But I knew that the overall the spin-off games
Those
are
aren't
not as
even,
popular.
like, real spin-off games because those are still like canon to the Zelda timeline. I was thinking more like Tingle's Adventure spin-off games.
Yeah. No, I just meant not a mainline installation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, spin-off games, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were a way to be like, hey, company no one's ever heard of, we'll give you 6 months to make this game for the Christmas release. We just want
Yeah.
to make like $1 million.
Exactly, and I mean that's kind of how a lot of the DS games and stuff were. You know what I mean? So that's why I tried to keep it to main Nintendo consoles, home consoles, I should say. So here we are, Zelda reeling it back in. Um, we're in Zelda's 40th anniversary, so that's the news for right now. A
Man,
lot of
Zelda's 40
announcements.
years old.
40
That
years old, yeah.
that's what 14 years older than us, Nate.
Yeah, it's 15. Yeah, for 16 for me. Yeah.
Jeez, it is. We're old.
40 years old, and so as we talked about remakes, ports coming. Hopefully, everyone is hoping for a Twilight Princess port because that is the only game that they haven't remade, remastered, ported. So that would be excellent.
Do you
There
guys want to
is
know a
supposed to be
fun
another.
fact about Twilight Princess? I'm sorry to interject, Lewis, just whilst we're talking
No,
about
no, you're
it.
good. Go ahead.
So Link is traditionally left-handed, and he was left-handed in Twilight Princess for the GameCube.
Ooh,
But when it was ported to the Wii, they had to make him right-handed, because most people are right-handed. So they would hold the Wii remote in their right hand. So if you look at gameplay in between the two games, he's either left-handed or right-handed. It's just a fun little trivia
snap.
thing where he's only right-handed in that game because majority of people in the world are right-handed.
You know, Robert, you'd be the only person who would know that.
Yeah.
Like
I know, that's
without
actually pretty cool,
without
though.
having to like look it up or anything. You're just like, yep, I just have this knowledge.
I read it like 7 years ago. And this is why I'm the trivia
Man.
king.
Yeah, like literally, I say I played Breath of the Wild. I think I made like 10, 15 minutes into it and couldn't figure out how to get past the first level and just gave up and just stopped playing it.
First level, Nate.
I
There's no
put
levels.
the first
There you
little
go.
section.
Okay, I kept getting
Yeah.
stuck somewhere, and so like I just gave up. I haven't played any other Zelda game. My experience with Link is literally Super Smash Brothers. Play with my cousins on the
The Wii
Fucking lord.
N64.
or the N64.
Just
So
sitting
actually,
on one side with the bow, just making them mad.
And that was Ocarina of Time Link, if it was N64.
I believe it was.
motherfucking prepubescent Link.
Yep.
But actually, for Breath of the Wild, I played like the first part of the world, and I stopped afterwards. I haven't finished it.
I beat Breath of the Wild.
But
I also beat Tears of the
yeah,
Kingdom.
But you've beaten
I don't
all of
think
them, haven't you?
No, I've only beaten those two.
you haven't beat
Have you
Ocarina
only
of
played
Time?
those
The
two?
fuck?
I've played older ones via emulation. And the thing with emulation is when it's on your computer, you'll sit there and you'll get through like a 4-hour gaming session. You're like, yeah, I love this. You don't touch it again for like 2.5 years.
Dude, I fucking beat Ocarina of Time on my 3DS and on the GameCube, bro. The Wind Waker, I beat that shit on the Wii U. Majora's Mask was one of those games that I played for 4 hours, and then I was just like, it's because Majora's Mask is just, it's cool, the whole rewinding time and having to redo, but like, it's fucking difficult, bro. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
literally just have to get better and better at what you're doing, and then at some point, like, eventually, times, you don't have to worry about the time as much, because you learn ocarina songs and whatever the fuck not, and sure, but it's still just. I think Majora's Mask is one of the harder Zelda games.
Definitely.
Yeah, but now let me get into the episode. Let's start covering some things. Well then, we talked a little bit about the 40th anniversary. There's not many more details other than what we've discussed so far. Just some planned remakes. One thing that is confirmed is
The movie.
a new Lego a movie, yes, 2027, and a new Lego Ocarina of Time Zelda set that will be coming out, I do believe, in March.
Only Lewis would care about Ocarina Lego set.
I haven't
I
had
mean,
Legos in a while. I think Nate is the one that's had the most recent Lego set.
I built 3 of them today.
Nate bought
There were mini ones I got for Christmas.
Nope, Nate bought
But
the $600 Pokemon starter set.
hell no. If
That's
I had
one thing.
six hundred dollars sitting around, it would
If I
not be
could buy
going to
Lego Star Wars
Legos.
Death Star, fucking that $400 set, I would fucking do.
Oh,
I'd build that shit.
I was talking about the new Pokemon starters that were like $600.
Well, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
some of the expensive Lego sets, those are nice as fuck. I would actually get some of those. And yeah, I think this one is like 1,000 pieces. It's like it's supposed to recreate the final scene or the final boss scene in Ocarina of Time. Pretty cool. But other than
There'd be
that,
more than 1,000 pieces for that.
yeah. I said 1,000 pieces plus. So let's talk about the worst Zelda games. I was gonna talk about the good ones, but the good one, the best one so far is probably Breath of the Wild, the most commercially successful. And I don't think that we can really talk about what makes it so good if we can't establish a baseline. And so,
See,
what better way?
the problem there is who here had actually played, Zelda 2, Zelda CDI. All we can do
I didn't
is,
play CDI.
all we can do is talk
played
about
Zelda
what
2.
other people have said was bad about them.
No, I played Zelda 2. I did
Okay.
play Zelda 2 because I had the collection and my dad played the Zelda. He had all these Zelda games as he grew up. And he Nintendo household, right? And so I have played it. And so I didn't realize. So I did the research on the episode and whatnot. I didn't realize that what I was playing at the time was Zelda 2. I thought that what I had played was like a spin-off because I remember like Zelda 1 being like a top-down view,
Yeah.
right? And so when I played Zelda 2, I didn't think that it was like an actual like continuation of the story because it was so fucking different. And it comes out to find out like everything that I thought was just like, oh yeah, this is like a shitty spin-off. Like, no, this is like a mainline fucking game.
This
And
was
everyone had the
second
same
game
complaints
they
about it.
made.
Yeah, I didn't know this. And doing my research kind of confirmed this. The same things that I kind of had gripes with, like, bro, there's no directions in the fucking game. Like when I tell you, like, bro, at least even in Zelda 1, you have some dialogue boxes. Like it you can kind of tell where you need to go, and shit unlocks as you need to like, you know where you need to go, right? Even in old Pokemon games, like sometimes things are ambiguous, but like I don't think there's ever a time where you can genuinely say like I've exhausted all my resources. I have no clue where the fuck to go.
Yeah.
It's not often that happens.
With a top-down game, unless there's something complex going on, it's really easy to go. Where there's only 4 exits out of this, 16 by 16
Exactly.
screen.
And Zelda 2, oh, that shit goes out the window. Because it's just side scrolling, so a lot of times you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. You have to interact with literally everything in the world. And what I mean everything in the world, like NPCs and inanimate objects, because your key to progression might be under the table inside of some random NPC's house that had nothing to do with the story, but there just so happens to be a key hidden under that table. Zelda 2, I think, was poorly designed in that aspect. Enemies were hard as fuck. Like, I don't even... Like, yeah, some 2D side-scrolling games can be difficult, right? And, I don't like to shit on games for being difficult because, like, that just sounds like, oh, it's more of, like, a you problem than it is a game problem. But, no, like, Zelda 2 was pretty fucking difficult, bro. Especially, like, in more modern Zelda games. I don't remember if Zelda 1 did this. Like if you lost all of your lives, you had to restart from the beginning of the game. It was just.
I mean, this
I
was
know Mario
before
did
the
that.
age of save states. I just mean
Yeah.
like saving in general. Remember old like Game Boy games where instead of like saving, they gave you a code to write down?
No, what the fuck?
Like you guys didn't play like Incredibles on the GBA and it was like, yeah, if you want to like continue from here again, here's the code you write down. And next time you turn on your GBA, you'll put this code into the game and it'll bring you back here.
What the fuck? I don't
Jeez.
remember that shit.
I'm not lying, like, codes as a save were the thing.
Yeah.
I guess I just grew up too late to have experienced that. My first like console that I
Well, but
owned.
we're all the same age. You just didn't
What?
play video games.
Yeah, I didn't play video games, so I was like almost 10. It wasn't until the DS Lite came out that was my first handheld console in the house.
Dude, that's when I started jerking off. That's actually not when I started jerking off. I started jerking off when I was like 13.
Yeah, old games
Yeah, I think
used...
the DS Lite came out like in like 2007, so maybe I was like 7. So
Yeah, so old games used alphanumeric password strings, often 10 to 30 plus characters, to save progress without internal memory. Used in Metroid, you know, a lot of games.
I don't remember this.
I haven't played enough old school single player games to have a save point. I just like Mario Party, Smash. Those were the types of games that maybe Mario Kart.
And I think one of the things too about Zelda 2 that was also this I don't remember because I didn't play it for that long before I just gave up on it. But from reading the little bit of research I did was I guess there was an RPG element to it. I remember just the whole 2D side scrolling thing was very difficult in and of itself, going from a top down view, just how you said, just like fucking 4SX. You know where you have to go, right? Just going to 2D now is like, what the fuck? But there was an RPG element to it, right? There's like
Yeah,
you
there was
could
like a
get
grinding
XP and
factor that
can
you had to
level up.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
level
guess
up and stuff.
yeah, and so one of the problems that people had with it was that you had to spend a lot of time grinding because you, as Link, you're fucking weak as shit, and just to start the game, you just need to grind, just like you would. It's like evolving your Pokemon to stage 2 before the first gym. That's kind of like type of shit you'd have to do.
So the question is, was there like an actual stat page? Or was it more like Pokemon where, yeah, you grind and you level up and you can see that, but in the background there's IVs. And you know, you have to defeat 10 monsters in order to quote unquote level Link up and get his swordsman to level 2.
Yeah, no, you had stats. You had attack, magic, and life,
And
which
like
is like
it
attack,
tells you how you're progressing.
stamina,
those?
and defense. Yes.
Okay.
Or is it like it might be like a just experience and you select which one I'm not sure what it was.
What do you mean?
Like was it like a you just gain experience points and then like once you level up you can
So is it like
increase
Dark
the-
Souls or is it
Yeah.
like RuneScape? Where Dark Souls you can level up individual stats with points, whereas RuneScape you just have to keep doing that action to level it up.
I feel like it'd make more sense if it was more like Dark Souls.
What? No, you would just level up and then get points to allocate to your stats.
Yeah, so you could allocate what stats you want to improve on, not just
Yeah.
yeah. You have the choice.
Oh, you're
for
talking
that.
about like Pokemon where you'd have to like kill a
Yeah,
specific Pokemon to
yeah,
gain
yeah.
level up a specific
Well, like
stat.
in
Mhm.
RuneScape, for example, if you want to level up your smithing, you have to just continuously smith to like get experience.
Oh,
points for
like a
that.
Skyrim type. I see what. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Yeah.
But it
that makes
sounds
sense.
more like
Yeah,
you
you need
just
to-
you got the experience points, then it's like, oh, you
Yeah.
have 1 point to allocate to your stats.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it was. Yes. And so that was pretty shitty for a lot of players. A lot of players were not used to that, and I mean, it kind of did more of a disservice than anything because as you leveled up, again, just the game was built difficult to begin with, right? Just you had a lot more enemy spawns than you could actually handle, and you definitely weren't the proper level for it. So you'd have to grind a fuck ton, and you always risk losing all of your grinding because. Unlike playing fucking Mario, you get to like World 8 and you fucking lose all your lives. You die. You gotta restart. Okay, cool. Like, you didn't grind. You just beat the fucking levels. In Zelda, you get to like almost the last dungeon, second to last dungeon. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to beat this shit. You fucking grinded away 16 hours of your life just to fucking die, and then you have to do all the grinding again. Like, I don't
To
even
me,
want to play at that point. Like, that shit
maybe
happens
it
to be a
was more.
Pokemon. I don't want to stop playing.
Yeah, maybe I guess it was more of maybe just the lack of knowledge that the player maybe had before
I mean,
continuing.
that's what it
Well,
was,
it
right?
sounds
I mean, the
like
internet.
a poor just game structure in general. If you're gonna have me
Yeah.
grind and then
Yeah,
I die and I get sent to the beginning, that is, people are like Dark Souls get good, you lose to the boss, you have to run back, maybe get damaged, you're a fucking scrub. This is literally like, hey, if you ever
Ultimate
lose,
punishment.
you've lost a day of
this is Minecraft
progress.
on hardcore mode.
Yeah.
You die,
This is yeah,
just it deletes the game.
yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Why Zelda 2 was such a horrible game. I can only speak to like the navigation issues, just because I played it in that sense. I never. It was so long ago though, so like I can't speak on the actual gameplay like myself per se, but just from the actual research from the research that I've done, just the RPG element was such a disservice in and of itself, and the whole you die, you get sent back to the beginning was not a good combination with that RPG incorporation.
The RPG
Too
stuff's kind of
realistic.
ironic because in like Legend of Zelda 1, I'm pretty sure you're like one or two shotting enemies in the beginning.
Yeah,
Like Link's never really had a problem with defeating enemies. Yeah, I don't know if you could upgrade your weapons in the first one, but I know in later games they introduced the concept of, swapping out your sword for a stronger one. Like there was
yeah,
that sense of leveling up, but having an actual stat point.
yeah, exactly. Throughout the Zelda games, it defeating the enemies never dependent on Link. It's dependent just like more so
The
potentially
equipment.
on your gear. And yeah, and on top of that, it's kind of hard to not get the proper equipment because the game almost forces you to at certain points.
It's like, hey, you just defeat this dungeon, here's the new sword, or you've made this story progress, here's the new sword. But if you
Exactly.
want the ultimate weapon, you have to go on this side quest that we don't really tell you about. There's stuff like that, but you're never gonna finish
And
and
that's
not
fine.
have like +2, like sword number 4 or whatever. Like,
Exactly. And so this is where Zelda 2 really failed. But we move on to Zelda 3 where they fixed that shit. They fixed that shit. And we're back to top down view.
Yeah, at
Zelda
least they
2 was
learned.
so much shit. Yeah, exactly. They learned. Zelda 2 was so much shit they went back to the top down view. One of the biggest changes was obviously they went from 8-bit graphics to 16-bit graphics. Now instead of just stabbing motherfuckers, you could swing. You had different sword animations, and like combat was a little different, right? Because now Link could have different combat styles. He didn't
oh
just have to stab motherfuckers.
shit, Zelda 3 was A Link to the Past?
Yeah,
I've played this one. Yeah,
yeah,
Zelda 3 is like
amazing.
arguably one of the best of it's the best Zelda of this type, the like top down.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty agreed upon.
Was
yeah.
it more liked because
I'll
it's
let you
coming off
elaborate,
of
Robert.
it's something coming off of like something that was really hated, and they're like, yes, they finally listened to us. Like it gets a whole lot more praise.
I don't even think it was that, to be honest with you. Zelda,
No, it was a really well made game. If you look at the research, I mean, if I did my research, it was just a really well made game. The puzzle aspect of it, like the whole premise of the game, like you had to navigate two worlds, just unheard of. And even nowadays, it's still the concept is groundbreaking. obviously the jump to the 16-bit graphics, just so much more power in the SNES, right? I do believe it was the SNES, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much more power in the SNES. You had the game itself was you had so many more mechanics. And even if a game like that were to be made now as like a indie developer thing, like I think it would have had the same type of acclaim.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's simplistic, but it's like the peak of simplistic. Looking back on it, you're like,
Mm.
okay, you can move in 8 directions, you can run, and this, that, the other. Like, this, at the end of the day, it's a game from 30 plus years ago. You know, everything that you do in that has been vastly improved upon, but it was the peak of those mechanics. I mean, I wasn't even a Zelda fan, and I was playing it, and I was like, I've emulated
It
it,
was a
and
good
it
game.
still feels great emulating it on your phone. And I think there was even, I think it might have been a GBA port of the game, or like a
There
GBA
was.
remake.
Yeah, there
Um,
was.
but yeah, even on the Game Boy Advance, it played amazing. It was, it's simple enough that anyone can just pick up and play. But like I said, it's the perfect version of this type of game.
So, goal for good video games: simple mechanics, good storytelling.
I mean, the storytelling wasn't even all that much, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Like, because you don't really have to interact with the NPCs.
Hmm.
Like, of course, there's a bit you have to do, but from what I remember, like, it's one of those show, don't tell sort of stories where you just do everything. You're not talking with NPCs for 20 minutes to be like, oh, this is the lore of the game.
Gotcha.
What do you say, Lewis?
So, I'd say that the storytelling, I guess if you mean by like the way that you interact with the world, maybe it's not all that, but the significance of its lore, right? And just the game itself, right? Because the whole premise of the game is that you travel between two worlds. Like it's the same world, it's just an alternate reality. And so like the whole game, like you're kind of solving puzzles. You're not actually solving a puzzle, but like in the plot of the game, like your actions help to advance this puzzle that you're solving, right? And so I think in that aspect, it succeeds in storytelling. Just like you said, maybe not necessarily like directly talking to the player, but in that sense, cool. And I mean, obviously, but I have to agree with Robert, and I mean, it's kind of universally agreed upon. The mechanics is just it's sound mechanics, right? It's just there's not much more you can get out of it. There's not much more you can say about it, right?
It is
So
what it is, and I
regardless,
appreciate it.
Also,
yeah,
think this was the
and
game that introduced the concept of reincarnation to the Zelda lore.
yeah, the first game in the defeated hero timeline that connects to an alternate reality scenario where the hero of time is defeated by Ganon.
Because if this is Zelda 3, because 1, 2 was a direct sequel to 1, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. So you're still playing as the
Yeah,
same
and so
Link.
A Link to the Past, you're not playing the same Link. It is way in the future.
Yeah, especially since you said it's in the defeated
Yeah.
hero timeline, which takes place
Yeah.
after Ocarina of Time.
Yes. Obviously, it comes up before Ocarina of Time, but in terms of the lore, it
Yeah.
happens afterwards.
Because I forget, is the alternate world, I can't remember if he's crossing timelines or he's crossing into like a demon world. Because isn't Ganon sealed and he's crossing into like the sealed version of the world?
Yeah, he's crossing into like a demon world, effectively. The
Yeah,
dark world, right?
the dark world.
The sacred, there's a sacred realm and there's the dark world, right?
Yeah, because I think Ganon got sealed into the dark realm, which I think
Exactly.
used to be the sacred realm. Because I think how they
It
defeat
it
Ganon
did.
in the banished timeline is they just seal him in the sacred realm. They're like, here you
This is
go, gods,
correct.
you can deal with him. And then they don't deal with him.
Yes. Essentially, they make that alternative world hell,
Yeah.
and God and Ganon is Satan. Yes. The more you know, Nathan.
Hmm.
So, Zelda 3 came absolute hit. One of the most successful Zelda games. Oh, more successful Zelda game, obviously. Once we made the shift to 3D, um, consoles became more popular and stuff. But yes, considered one of the best Zelda games of all time. And then we get to the Ocarina of Time, the only game in gaming history
The GOAT.
to get a perfect 10 across all boards. Obviously, it had to do with what games were at the time. Would it get the same nowadays? Who knows? Probably not. But still has that title. Ocarina of Time just kind of had that shit. I mean, you've played it, right, Robert?
Oh, yeah, I've played, like, the first 5 hours. Again, one of those things where I emulated. I was like, yeah, this is a great game. I can see why it's so good.
Yeah.
I'll play it again. And then I never get around to playing it again.
Yeah. Like, I don't. There's not much to. I don't think that there's much to speak about Ocarina of Time. I've played it about 3 times.
If you're watching this episode, you've probably played Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm talking to Nate here. I think this episode is more like talking to an audience as if we're talking to Nate, right? But um,
I mean,
yeah,
it
I
made
really
the
don't even know where
shift
to
to
begin.
third person.
Yeah, the
Like,
shift to third person, obviously 3D.
think about it. Zelda 3 built upon what made Zelda 1 great. They already had the formula there. Then they went, okay, we've perfected this. Let's do 3D. Let's do third person. Let's show the people what we can do. It could have
And
failed
on
like
first try,
side-scrolling
yeah,
did.
and on
Well
the
said.
first try, they nailed it. They nailed it. They nailed it on the first try. Um, I don't know. I think for me, I can't really. There's not much for me to say about Ocarina of Time just because I've
It's
played it so much and stuff. But like, it was my first Zelda game, so that's kind of like what a Zelda game is supposed to be for me. You know?
it's difficult to explain because it is just kind of Zelda. That, like you
Yeah.
said, it's what everyone thinks of when you think of Zelda. And then when you try and break it down, it's just like, yeah, it's so simple, but it works. It has enemy lock on and basic combat. Like, it doesn't do anything special looking back on it,
Yeah.
but everything it did was special when it was new. And that's the
Exactly.
reason why
And I
it's no
mean,
longer special.
It made
and
its own
even now,
type of game.
it's still an enjoyable game, right? Like, just because the combat, the mechanics aren't necessarily innovative now, they were at the time, but just at any moment you pick up and play it. Like, it has a good storyline. Obviously, you start off in the Kokiro Kokorik, whatever the fuck forest. You know, you're a little you're a little midget, and you're like a fucking Tarzan. You know,
Yeah, little
you're
gremlin.
surrounded by monkeys. Yeah, yep. You're surrounded by monkeys, but you're not a monkey. And then you're like, oh snap! Like maybe I'm not a monkey. And then you go out to Hyrule, and then you see people that look like you, and then you find out that your own peoples are assholes, and that Ganon exists because your people decided to whatever, try to enslave the Gorons. But I digress. No,
Isn't
no,
there
but
like like a cow lady? Like, she raises cows and her name's like Meadow or something? Or am I thinking of a different Zelda game?
maybe.
Or maybe she's like a rancher and raises horses. Because I think this is one of the games where people ship Link with someone other than Zelda.
Malin and Crimea.
I think it might be Malin.
Oh, Malin, yeah,
Yeah.
it's Malin, yeah. Malin is last seen bidding farewell to Link in Epona with her father and Ingo at the ranch. She finally calls Link a hero instead of fairy child, promising to keep a cow just for him if he ever needs milk.
Yep, and then he goes and he gets lost in Majora's Mask, and then he becomes the skeleton knight in Twilight Princess, implying that he
Exactly.
died in Majora's Mask.
Yes. And
The more you know.
you see, this guy, he should have made the episode. He knows more about the fucking lore and all this shit. Yeah, I mean, but Ocarina of Time was just you gotta play it. If you haven't played it, I mean, there's not much more to it. It gives you a great, solid, like, story reference to Zelda. I think any Zelda game you pick up, I think that's actually, as a side note, one thing about Zelda games. I don't think you need to ever know anything about Zelda to be able to pick up at any point and play any Zelda game.
Not most of the time, yes, but sometimes they come in like direct sequels. So like Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask. Really, to make the most
Yeah,
out of
that is
Majora's
true.
Mask, you need to play Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Phantom Hourglass to and Wind Waker. You really want to play Wind Waker before you play Hourglass. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Like you can jump on pretty frequently because they're all independent
Yeah.
games that take place whenever the fuck in the timeline, except for when a game is a direct sequel
Those.
to a
Yeah.
previous one.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's happened a few times. Yeah. Um, Majora's Mask, though, you can get away without playing Ocarina of Time. It's just if you do play Ocarina of Time, it's a lot better, way
Yeah.
better if you play Ocarina of Time.
Just like
But
how you
yeah,
can do
those
it
are
with
direct
Phantom
sequels.
Hourglass, but it's a lot
Yeah.
better after you play Wind Waker.
As you play Wind Waker, yeah. Tears of the Kingdom, though, that is 100% like you
That
have
is
to play Breath of the
100%
Wild.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing, and I mean, and then there's the games obviously in between. There's actually not that many games that happen in between all this.
Well, they only release a
After
game
Majora's
like
Mask,
every 5 years.
once a generation. Yeah, like I just like to say once a generation because it's a
It really is.
yeah, like Nintendo 64. You had Ocarina of Time, then the Majora's Mask, and then you had Twilight Princess for the GameCube,
And then
and you
technically for
didn't
the Wii
have
as well.
Skyward Sword, right?
And then Skyward Sword for
But
the Wii.
Skyward Sword and that was like the new one.
And
And
then
then for the Wii U, we
Breath
had
of the
Breath of the
Wild.
Wild.
Technically Switch as well.
Yeah.
And then
So that's like a normal trope at this point for Zelda games.
the other games typically come out towards the end of a console lifespan.
Yeah.
Because they take so long to like get right. It's not like Pokemon being like, yeah, our game's a buggy mess. Fucking send it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously this is interesting because for Breath of the Wild actually, it came out towards the end of the Wii U lifespan. But it actually was one of the games that helped sell the Switch. Actually,
Oh yeah, because it was effectively a launch
Zelda-
Switch game.
yes, it was. And Zelda for the Switch, Breath of the Wild for the Switch, outsold the Switch in the first month. As crazy as that sounds, there was more copies of Breath of the Wild for the Switch than there were Switches sold.
I mean, makes sense. Oh,
Now-
you said Breath of the Wild for the Switch?
Yes,
Oh wow.
that is it. There was 925,000 copies of Breath of the Wild sold, and 905,000 Switches sold first month.
Maybe it
So
got pre-orders
Zelda-
or something.
Might
Maybe a
have
lot
been
of people pre-ordered.
picking up the game and then being like, "I'll get my Switch when I can eventually find a Switch." Because you have to
Yeah.
think that they were
Oh,
pretty
Poor
hard to
Robert for
find.
ZA. Yeah, yeah. I forgot the Switches were hard to find, and so
It's just like the Wii.
yeah, Breath
Man.
of the Wild.
People going to GameStop and Best Buy at like 2 a.m. hoping to get one of those tickets to buy one of the like 4 Wii's they got that month.
Man, my mom won a Wii.
That's how my
you
mom got
serious?
my
Yes.
sister the Wii. Is that she went to like a Best Buy for the midnight like release of their stock that one, and they had like 4.
What the fuck? I think my dad bought one back from Korea. Yeah.
My mom won it on like she had to do like the Wii Sports boxing. Like This is the story that she told me. I don't know how
No.
true it is.
She
It's like some
boxed
like
someone
radio,
at Best
like a
Buy, Nate, and took their Wii.
no. It was like for like a radio show host, and it wasn't like when they first came out. It was the black one.
Ah, the one that
Um,
wasn't
Oh yeah, that was a
GameCube
lot later. Yeah.
compatible.
yeah. So
No,
we
my
found
dad came
that
back from
one.
Afghanistan, or Iraq it was, because he bought back the big bootleg box set of Dragon Ball Z.
My buddy had a bootleg box set of OG Dragon Ball that his dad brought back from when he was deployed. Seems like everyone's dad just gets deployed so they can bring back bootleg Dragon Ball stuff.
Yeah, it's
I got
that's
just
pretty
bootleg
accurate.
Nintendo. I just got the DS cartridge with like 500 games on it.
No, that was. I went to Puerto Rico. I never saw that in my life until I went to Puerto Rico, and every kid with a DS in Puerto Rico had one of those. I'm like, you got Pokemon? They're like,
Which
I don't know
one?
what that is. Yeah, they didn't know what the fuck they had. They had an SD card that they would put in their fucking Nintendo and they fucking play, and then cause like none of it is games, they're just kids and they just see fucking words. They don't understand that shit. And it's all like in English and they all speak Spanish, so they don't know what the fuck is going on.
I mean, I couldn't read Pokemon when I first started playing it. It was in English. I just didn't know English. I was like,
Yeah.
I would fucking just grind my way through smashing A and pressing directions. Then I get to the Elite Four. I had a buddy who lived next door who was like same age as my sister. I was like, how do I beat the Elite Four and have like a level 100 Charizard with like no PP left?
It's fucking hilarious. No, I mean, I feel like I told you about the time when I was in kindergarten, and like I didn't know how to like read, and so I just like copied off the kid right next to me. Remember, and like I
Yep.
just the lines on the back of the sheet fucking wrote verbatim what he did, and because I got to present my picture in my fucking story before he did, he just kept getting in trouble until the last day. Yeah, that's who actually knows how to read when you're a kid, like. You expect me to know how to read by the time I'm 7? What the fuck? That's wild, bro.
Not by the time I'm 7. I was talking about this
Like,
being
it
like a
was-
3-year-old playing Pokemon.
Ah, man. Talk about this being a fully grown child. So, Breath of the Wild, though, back to it. Most successful Zelda game. Tears of the Kingdom is in second. Not quite at Breath of the Wild status. I think Breath of the Wild sold like 21 million copies or something like that. Or it might have been Tears of the Kingdom. Or most
To put it in perspective, my
successful.
sister played Breath of the Wild. And she had never played a Zelda game in her life before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it
My
blew up
fucking
all over
ex
the
wanted to
internet.
play. Yeah. My ex wanted to play Breath of the Wild. She never even played video games.
See?
32 million copies. Tears of the Kingdom sold 20 million.
Yeah, it was all over, like, Instagram and stuff. Like, it was the game when it came out.
Yes. And so, what made Breath of the Wild so successful? So, if we've talked about Ocarina of Time being like the standard, Zelda 2 sucking, what made Breath of the Wild so successful? It changed everything that Zelda did. It redid the formula.
I think it really...
Instead of spawn.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think
No,
it...
I was gonna say. I'm gonna shut the fuck up, and you have the floor.
Okay. I think it really comes down to everything we've said before. All of the amazing Zelda games do what they do incredibly well. Link to a Past
Yeah.
was the best top-down Zelda game. Ocarina of Time revolutionized third-person gameplay. Breath of the Wild was a... I dislike open world games. It was probably one of the best open world games you can play. And I think it's as simple as that. Every
And that's
amazing
exactly.
Zelda game does what they do to the best of their abilities. Look at this man just cramming down beers. I'd go get another one, but I don't want to get up until we're done recording.
It's beer number 2, brother. Oh yeah, bro, that's exactly, you hit the nail on the dot, on the head. Breath of the Wild departed from regular Zelda mechanics. Obviously, it tried out open world, and it did it really well. It also had a narrative shift. Link was no longer trapped in this saving a damsel in distress trope.
I mean, he was.
Zelda and he, it was different in the
No.
sense that
You literally wake up and she goes, Link, save me! Like, you can't tell me he's not saving the damsel in distress when she's literally stuck in Ganon and needs to be saved.
there's a more, how do I put this?
There's a more...
The relationship between...
Yeah, they're fucking...
The relationship between... Yeah, exactly. The relationship between Link and Zelda change, right? It's no longer just you're Mario saving Peach. There's like, oh, like, I know Zelda. Like, she's my side hoe. Like, she's not my side hoe, but like, I want that bitch and that bitch want me. It's not just like, I have to do this because I'm fulfilling a prophecy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Not the whole, like, you know, not damsel in distress, because I believe it was Ocarina of Time where Zelda really picks her shit up and she does the whole, like, chic stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, Ocarina of Time was first one to stop doing that. But yeah, Breath
it
of the
was.
Wild basically made Zelda and Link being a couple canon. Considering Tears of the Kingdom, they share a house.
Exactly. And this is what I mean. And I think that's one of the things that helped. It shifted the narrative. Once again, it was look at Nate with his doggo. It wasn't just, again, classic. It wasn't, you weren't playing Mario. You weren't Mario saving Peach anymore. There was some level of connection.
I hate to say
You're still saving your bitch.
But Breath of the Wild wasn't even technically the first to do, like, Zelda and Link canon couple. Technically the first Zelda does it, but we're not going to count that one. Skyward Sword, I think, technically ends with them being a couple as well.
Skyward Sword. So, we talked about this during the quiz. Canonically, no.
Canonically, no. It's very heavily implied, just like in Breath of the Wild. It's very heavily implied.
Skyward Sword, if I do... I can't easily look it up. But from me playing Skyward Sword, I do remember Zelda and Link having a lot more interaction.
Because she's supposed to be like your friendlier friend, basically.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Like, I hate to say it, but Breath of the Wild wasn't even the first to do, like, oh, they're fucking, like...
And you know what's crazy? That actually came right before Breath of the Wild. So you know what? That's actually a pretty...
Someone at Nintendo
interesting
shipped
topic.
Zelda and Link, and they've done the last 3 games to prove it. I mean, in Breath of the Wild, Link is the one who reverts Zelda back from a dragon that, like, you can't actually turn back from. You know, true love and all that good stuff returns her
You said in Breath of the Wild?
Tears of the Kingdom. Because she turned into a dragon, and, you know, true love reverts her back.
There's like a whole subreddit. This is interesting, right? In the beginning,
Link had to kiss a dragon.
I don't think they like kiss, but I think it's like,
dude,
remember
this
who
bitch
you are effectively. Lewis is heavily disturbed by the Zelda and Link porn that is on Reddit. Have you guys seen the Link, you promised to fuck my tits meme? I know Lewis has.
I have not seen this.
I won't find it, but yeah, that was a meme going around like 4 years ago, and it's Zelda in the Breath of the Wild outfit. But for some reason, the artist has given her like huge boobs, and it just says, Link, you promised to fuck my tits, or something along those lines. Very cute dog, Nate. This is the most Nate has contributed the entire episode.
Yep. Puppies on display.
Lois is really looking at like Zelda and Link fanfics. He's like, I gotta save this one for later. Zelda and Link
Hold up, bro, 'cause
erotica. He's been talking about all the Ganon NTR porn he watches, but now that he's seen Zelda and Link erotica, he's like, maybe this might be my cup of tea.
Yeah.
He's really locked in on that, Nate.
I know. It's a little
So-
disturbing. Lewis, move your hands.
Not that way, Lewis. He's stroking his shit.
So
So
Buffering. Give him a sec.
he's
His screen
mentally
wa-
buffering.
Right. His
see,
screen froze
that's
in real life.
crazy. That's crazy. Because wow. So when you look it up, right? ETOW. Yeah, I guess Skyward Sword was just such a shit game.
Yeah, apparently the game was so fucking bad, but like it almost canonizes Link and Zelda that people are like,
Right,
it's
no.
good for that reason.
No, they're like, yeah, it's like, no, they are like a couple, right? Because, like, I do remember that, but I'm like, no, like, you know, when you look it up, it always says, like, Breath of the Wild is the one, and I is the one that kind of, like, really leaned into it. But no, like, yeah, no, Skyward Sword really did it. And if I remember, yeah, remembering correctly, just how you were saying, it is. I guess Skyward Sword was just a shit game that it just gets overlooked.
Yeah.
I guess motherfuckers just be like, yeah, nah, it doesn't really count.
When one of the games sells 2 million copies and the other one sells 32 million copies, you're gonna claim the one that sold 32 million copies can makes two of your characters
Yeah.
fucking canon.
I think that might be it. I think that's literally it because now, you know, Ocarina of Time, Zelda's being saved, but at the same time, like, just how, you know, she does her chic shit, like, you know, whatever, right? And so that's cool, right? Breath of the Wild obviously does. You know, I'm fucking flabbergasted. I just can't get over this now. This whole Skyward, it was just that much of a dog shit game that people just decided to ignore that. Wow. That's actually fucking crazy.
It was so
Does not-
bad that the sequel to Breath of the Wild basically kind of tells the story again. Because Skyward
There's
Sword...
no fucking way.
So, Skyward Sword ends with the people of the Sky Islands coming down to Earth to establish Hyrule. Whereas Breath of the Wild... Not Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, you get to meet the first king of Hyrule. And he's that jackal-looking dude. So they tell the story of
They
basically
could
what
ride
happened,
off of the fucking Sky Island.
but instead of it being them, it's Sonya and I think it's like Ramiel or whatever. And Sonya is like supposed to be a Zelda-esque person, but it's not Zelda, obviously. And she's fucking a jackal.
Right.
Like the dude literally looks like a deer.
Are you fucking serious?
Like, yeah.
So, like, in Tears of the Kingdom, effectively, the Zelda and Link weren't on the Sky Islands in their recount of the events.
So they don't actually say what happens on the islands. They just refer to
Right,
those
we can
people
only draw
as-
conclusions based on what we see after.
Yeah, they refer to those people, I believe, as the Zoras or something. It begins with a Z because that's what the technology is.
Zoras are the little water people.
Yeah, it's not Zoras. It's like some other Z word, but that's what they call those people.
What are the motherfuckers from Skypiea called, Nathan?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Not the Skypeans, the other motherfuckers.
You talking about the cops? in the quiz.
No, those are the
No,
fucking
no, it's like there's the two
white
different
boys.
people.
There's the colonizers and the natives. The natives are the
Yeah.
Skypians. Interesting. Yo, like, just derailed the whole shit. I now want to play Skyward Sword. What the fuck? All right then. But back to it. Yeah, bro. I might just end the episode right there. That shit was a bomb.
Zonai.
That shit was
It was called like a Zonai nation.
Zone Nation. Gosh.
Yeah, something like that. And so like, that's why they try and be like, yeah, all the previous games were like legends. Because they then go back and be like, yeah, this is the beginning of Hyrule, and it doesn't look anything like all of those other games established.
I see. That's why when you look it up, it says canonically Breath of the Wild because
Takes
I
place
guess
like
yes,
thousands
Skyward
of
Sword.
years in the future.
Yes. I see.
Breath of the Wild kind of
I
fucks
think
up
now
the
it
timeline
makes-
They're
theory.
they're just called Skypians.
Sky
It's for
penises.
both of them.
They're not called Skypians for both of them.
Oi.
But also, and then the last aspect of Breath of the Wild is obviously you're in a world where Ganon's already won. Ganon has won for the last 100 years, and you're here to correct it. It hasn't been the first one to do it in the Zelda series, but it is the first to do it with all of these elements: romantic couple, a fucking, and what the fuck did I say? You're in a world where Ganon's already won. So, and obviously you're in an open world. So, yeah, Breath of the Wild kind of had that shit. It's kind of just how Robert said. Just tried to elaborate some more on it. It took the few mechanics that it did introduce new. It just didn't really fucking well.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to send this meme to you guys.
What is it?
I found the meme.
What? But what was it?
The you promised you
what
would
was
fuck
the-
my tits meme. I just sent it to your phone.
You should have sent it to my Discord.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think I have Discord on my phone.
Is she like an anime chick?
No, she looks like the Twilight Princess outfit. Except for she has huge fucking tits. Actually, this isn't the Twilight Princess outfit. This is like Zelda 1 outfit.
This one?
Yeah, it's that one. That meme was floating around for like 2... Oh, I sent the meme to Nate instead of Lewis on Discord.
Hey, remember me?
Like, these types of memes were floating around for like a hot minute a few years ago.
I'm not breastfeeding you. That's weird, bro. What the fuck? Why did Luffy show up, bro? Yo, do you remember SS Sniper Wolf, bro? And then it turned out like she was a fraud and her boyfriend was doing all that bullshit. That
Whoa,
was
Lewis,
wild.
we need to stop. You put your mouse right on. No, you put your mouse right on another photo that I'm gonna have to blur.
What? Where?
Top
one?
left. to the right, Lewis. I'm gonna have to blur all of this, and I hate you. I don't even know how to blur in DaVinci Resolve. Did Google like take safe search off or something?
No, it said yeah. It did. What the fuck? Oh, I'm not gonna see this shit now. Yeah, come on, please.
Not Lewis. Come on, man. I'm just.
He says, come on, man. It's my.
I'm just gonna have to like cut the video for this entire section. It's not even worth blurring.
We're just having technical difficulties. Lewis said,
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Okay. So with Lewis gone, I guess that's where we're gonna end the video. I hope you
I
guys.
almost mean that we just cut back to this point.
Oh, that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed
Yep.
looking at the Zelda telling Link to fuck her tits meme. Nothing happened after that. Totally not like a
We
dick
promise.
on video. Nothing.
Nope. Nope.
But we'll see you guys next week for the
Oh.
Smiling Friends quiz. Lewis, wave goodbye.
Oh.